Our website will change for the tickets for next week. The people in this room will have access to that before the email actually goes out to the rest of our mailing list. So just FYI for next week's speaker. Yes. Okay, I think we're ready to start. Okay. All right. Y'all enjoy your lunch.
041015. That's 041015. You're a winner. Let me see, is anybody want to claim it right now? Is that Keith Jackson over there? It sure is. Look at that. Keith Jackson in the house over there. What? Wait, you did not win. You did not win. Yeah, we're going to ask Keith today, did he know about NIL before there was NIL? That's what we want to talk in Oklahoma. Barry Switzer said you did. And we got him back in the touchdown club this year, just FYI. So 041015. Anybody got that? The other one is. Okay, very good. We got you taking. Is that Kevin? No, it's okay. Here we go. The next one is 973011. 973011. 973. There you go. Congratulations. Very nice. Debbie will find you. Debbie, right over here. It is great to be back. This is year 20 for the Little Rock Touchdown Club. How about that? Unbelievable. So great to bring back our football-loving community. So I just want to tell you guys something. I don't know if you realize it or not, but something special is happening in Little Rock with our Touchdown Club, Coach. There's a lot of touchdown clubs all over the country, been around a lot longer, Birmingham, Atlanta, Tallahassee, Mobile, and others. But I want you to see this, what we call a sizzle reel that I send to all the potential speakers that might come in or the agents I'm dealing with. And this is what we share about what's happening in Little Rock.
There are a lot of really good clubs in the country, but this is now considered the best touchdown club in America.
Wow. Great experience here at the Little Rock Touchdown Club. Great turnout. Obviously, lots of football fans. Majority Arkansas fans. I saw a couple of Tennessee Orange jerseys and a couple of Colts and Broncos jerseys in the crowd. So that was great. But had a lot of fun with David up there on stage and hearing about all of the great programs that the Touchdown Club supports and the great awards they give every single year. My dad and Eli both spoken at it, and they told me what a great event it was, and I sure had a great time.
Ohio State was undefeated. They're going to the playoff. They lost to Michigan, and their players, this is the next generation, their players like, I guess we got to go to the Rose Bowl. You know, I'm like, don't say that.
I was concerned about being a college coach because I would have you on the death penalty probation within 6 months. But now that you're paying players, and I know a bank with $27 billion, I'd love to have the Arkansas job. I'll tell you that.
Well, let me tell you something. I had an opportunity to go to a lot of banquets over the years. And here, I've had one of the best experiences that I've had in quite some time.
So what's next?
Well, I got to tell you this, though. Say, Coach, you got $17.1 million on your contract. We're going to give it to you. I said, what time you want me to leave and what door you want me out of, brother?
What an incredibly special event. The kindness that everyone showed to me, the reception, the energy in the room. It is unequivocally the best touchdown club that there is anywhere, anytime, and I will always say that.
I'm going to tell you exactly how I feel about it. I'm not jealous. They say, oh, you're jealous because of all the money. Well, I would like to make 35. You paid my ass $35 million. I'd have played better than Aaron Rodgers played Sunday. I mean, I wouldn't have mailed it in. I can promise you that. So,
and the heart's racing like this, and I grab Chris's arm. The play's right here, and I'm looking at him, and he's like, and I can't even talk to him. And he's like, what the hell are you doing? You know, and I'm holding his arm like this because I didn't want the other coach to see me watching it. So I stood like this, and Chris is like, I remember him going.
wow, I didn't expect that. Thank you.
Shot of what we've done in the last few years. How about that? Just a little bit. I'm sure we're going to add to that sizzle reel. Again, we mentioned this is the 20th anniversary. Coach, I don't know if you've ever seen this picture. There's only 45 of you that in this room that could have been there. Let's take a look. So that was the first meeting of the Little Rock Touchdown. Rex, you had a lot more hair up there beside me on the podium. I was much thinner. Andrew Metters to the right, Bill Vickery and others. Joe Villinger, I see you there. And then let's show the picture of last year, record-breaking attendance at the Peyton Manning deal. So, again, that's what's happening. with our touchdown club, and it's because of everything. Not just because of me or Rex. It's because of everything. It's because of our sponsors, which are the best sponsors in America. It's because of the membership that we have, that you're showing up and the speakers feel your energy. And then all of our volunteers. We got the best volunteer group in America here. So it's really a team effort. Let's take a look real quick at the touchdown club lineup. There's something for everybody. So Coach Pittman, I'm going to tell you what's crazy about after you. So Hunter Yurchek is going to love to follow these three guys. So Brett Favre, Ray Lewis, and Eric Dickerson. The NFL came out with their 100-year anniversary of the greatest players in the history, 100-year history of the NFL. Each position had 6 players. Those 3 guys were one of the 6 over the 100 years. I had no idea when I booked them in that they would do that. So to get those to a small market club like us is outstanding. I think Jimbo Fisher will be very interesting in terms of what's going on with money, since he obviously has a lot more now than anybody else in the room, maybe. Dan Mullen will be great. Nathan Brown will be great. The 3 guys, Coach DJ Williams, Jarius Wright, Joe Adams, 3 of the greatest to ever play during the Petrino era. Butch Jones has great things happen at Arkansas State. Colt McCoy, obviously one of the greatest to ever play at Texas. And then how about Barry Switzer, Ken Hatfield, and Freddie Marshall on the 60th anniversary coach of the 1964 team. I'm going to tell you, Barry Switzer hadn't changed a lick. When I talk to him, Coach, I feel like I'm talking to the guy that was coaching Oklahoma in 1976, language included, if you will. But then obviously the rest of the whole lineup, obviously Jordan Rogers, who, ladies, you might be interested in him because he was the winner of the Bachelorette. And then David Pollock, who's as class as can be. But it takes everybody to be involved to make this thing be successful. I do want to recognize real quick, if you are a founding member of the club or on the board of directors, please stand and let's give them a round of applause. If you're a founder or on the board of directors, please stand. I see you guys over there, Murderers Row over there. Thank you, guys. Coach, this is your 5th visit. We're honored that you're here. Coach doesn't have to do this. He doesn't. But he's carrying on the tradition, and that's one of the reasons we've become one of the best touchdown clubs in America, because he kicks things off. And, Coach, we're honored that you're here. Matter of fact, Coach, for the first time ever, I think, we've ever had somebody do this. I don't know how long. Coach is going to do pictures on stage like we do with all of our other speakers for a while until he's got to get out of here. So we'll start with our 50-yard line members and sponsors, and he'll get as many as he can before he's got to get out of there. But thank you, Coach, for offering to do that. You guys, I get sentimental sometimes. I think it's because I'm getting older. But tomorrow's not promised, and Rex brought this up last night. So I was looking through my notes from your meeting last year, Coach. And I'm looking down, and I see Gary Under, official chaplain of the Razorbacks. He'd done it for, how many years? 10, 15 years? He got to week 8, died of a heart attack. And so I know he was a close friend of yours, Rex, and was on Mike Huckabee's staff forever. But very thankful that pigskin preacher Chuck Monan has stepped in. He's a great guy. He's done the prayer at the Broyles Award, and he's a very passionate football guy, even though it's Michigan that he roots for most. We'll exclude him from that. But very thankful to have him up here. I do want to mention, too, before you come up here, Chuck, Daryl Mason, one of my teammates, Keith, I know you know. He was a team captain in 1981, my freshman year. He died over the weekend at age 63. Coach, he was at Livingston College in Oklahoma, and he died actually on the what's that? Langston. What did I say? Yeah, Langston, I'm sorry. Died actually on the practice field, I think. I think he had a medical emergency. And but let me tell you one thing I remember about Daryl. Remember when we played Baylor in 1981? It was a great game. Grant Taft was a coach then. It was back and forth, back and forth. At the end of the second quarter, Daryl Mason went across the middle to catch a pass, probably by either Brad Taylor or Tom Jones. Coach, back then, there was nothing that said you couldn't go helmet to helmet. And that's what Van McElroy did from Baylor. He ended up playing, had a good career for the Raiders. Hit him in the mouth and knocked out about 5 teeth. We could see the teeth flying out of his mouth. And they took Daryl into the locker room, and we thought he'd be done. But you know what happens? He comes back out in the second half, plays the entire second half with his teeth missing. I don't think they could find him on the field. Makes a key catch on the last drive of the game, and we kick a game-winning field goal as Bruce Leahy, his time runs out. I know, Keith, I know you're tied in at Parkview. He was before you, and I know what you thought of him, but just wanted to just remember his family in prayer. Pigskin, will you come up and lead us in prayer, buddy?
Well, Let's pray together. Father, what a blessing it is to be here. We're thankful to see old friends and to make new friends. We're thankful for the good that the Touchdown Club does in this city and this state to celebrate the great game of football. Father, we're thankful for all of your gifts, including life itself. And Father, our hearts go out to the Mason family in this terrible loss. We pray that you give them peace and comfort in the days to come. Father, we're thankful for the many gifts that you give us, including the refreshment of the rain last night, the food that's before us today. Father, we're thankful for Coach Pittman and for his staff and taking time out to come and to share with us today. We pray your blessing on them and the interaction, the influence they have with these student athletes. Father, we pray for the team, that they have harmony and unity and be kept free from injury this year. Father, what a blessing it is to be here and to celebrate life itself. And we thank you for all of these gifts. In the name of Jesus, amen.
Thanks, Chuck. Appreciate that. By the way, too, love these passes. Did you notice that? That again, from Rockstar Passes. Everybody gets one of those. I think that's really great, too. Before I thank our sponsors, I'm going to go ahead. Coach, can I tell the story? Coach said, I want to tell the story. So you guys have been to the, if you've been to the Touchdown Club the last few years, my girlfriend has to put up with this year after year about me complaining and not doing anything about it. My weight gain. And I always say, Coach, I've gone from a linebacker to a nose guard. Coach comes in the lobby of the DoubleTree and says, you're trying to get, he said, man, I don't have a belt. I said, Coach, I have a belt. How about that? The defensive tackle now has lost weight like a linebacker, and the linebacker is more closer to the defensive tackle. I'm not ashamed of that. I'm glad I was able to help you out, Coach. I know what happened to your belt. Did you just forget it today? No, it busted. I do want to thank all of you who've joined up, the 50-yard line members. We appreciate you. Everybody who's bought a membership. Also, to encourage you to keep joining the College Football Hall of Fame and the Arkansas Sports Hall of Fame. Those memberships make a difference. Dan Hampton is going into the College Football Hall of Fame because we voted for him. And Coach Broyles was smart enough about that years ago to try to encourage, hey, listen, y'all sign up for the College Football Hall of Fame. You can do that to the Touchdown Club. So appreciate everybody who's joined up. And if you hadn't joined up, please join up and be a part of this, even if you can't be here every week. Coach, I wanted to, because I know you were at Pittsburgh State, the Gorillas, Division II. Was it Division II when you played? NAIA, and that's Division II. Well, we present some amazing awards, including Dan Hampton, Willie Rowe, Darren McFadden, three of the greatest to ever come out of the state of Arkansas. We also do Division II awards, Coach. One of them, that's exactly right. Let's start with the Cliff Harris. This is sponsored by Judy Henry and Wright, Lindsay, and Jennings. I want to show some pictures. Used to be we only gave out one trophy for the 500 schools represented from Division II, Division III, and NAIA. And we decided, no, every individual division should get this $3,000 trophy to honor Cliff Harris. That was at the Star in Dallas last year. Is that not impressive? This is the kind of things we're doing behind the scenes to make a difference. Look at that. Is that not a great picture? Let's give a round of applause to Judy Henry and Wright, Lindsay, and Jennings Cliff Harris Award. And, Coach, you knew exactly about the Harlan Hill Award that's sponsored by Bill and Doris Lawrence. That is in year 37, Rex. It is the Small College Heisman. That's what we're doing. That's one of the reasons we do all this is get to the end and present these awards, include the Paul Ills Award, the Sully Award, and Ken Hatfield Sportsmanship Award. So we can't do that without you, and we appreciate that. I want to thank our sponsors. Coach has done this before. Coach knows I thank almost everybody in the room. If he sees somebody I haven't thanked, he will point them out. But here's the deal. Rex will not be giving any breakdown today because there are no games. So I'm going to thank our sponsors for a few minutes, if you don't mind, and then we'll get to Coach. I want to start by bringing up Chris White with Simmons Bank, our presenting sponsor. We don't get to where we are without Simmons Bank. We don't get to become, hey, people are talking about this club is the best in the country without Simmons Bank. As you heard John Gruden said, $27 billion in assets. They've been around since 1903. They're doing so many cool things in golf. Presented by Stevens at Pleasant Valley Country Club and others. But, man, they are making a difference. And even though they're in multiple states now, they're based here in Arkansas and will be forever. Please welcome Chris White to the stage, if you don't mind.
So, Coach, if it makes you feel any better, I have been texting David almost daily to try to get him to come to the gym. A couple things. David's obviously done an amazing job with this touchdown club. I joked at the announcement of the speakers that we had one thing in common, that, you know, he's been doing this 20 years and I've been at the bank 20 years. So definitely see the success of the institution that we serve every day. But want to thank this part of Little Rock, our community, football, athletics, sports, you name it. Thanks, David.
I know George Macris would be here, but he had a conflict and could not be here. I know he wanted to, but he says his regret. But thank you, Chris. Also excited to get some new sponsors this year, including Stevens. Warren Stevens has been a football supporter for a long time. I'm sure he probably cussed me up in the upper areas of, I know where he used to sit at War Memorial if I missed a tackle, but I know how passionate he is about football. So do want to thank him for stepping up. And Stevens has already worked closely with Simmons already. They're the presenting sponsors, I mentioned, of the Simmons Bank Championship. And talking with Curtis Jeffrey, they're doing so many cool things like the Jack Stevens Cup, which will be in Oklahoma City the same week of this massive tournament at Pleasant Valley. So the eyes of the country will be focused on what Stevens is doing over in Oklahoma City and what Simmons is doing here in Little Rock. But they also have, Rex, I don't know if you knew this, but Stevens sponsors a Formula One team. And so they are bringing a Williams racing car, a Formula One car, to the Arkansas Museum of Fine Arts, if you can believe that. This is September 5th to the 22nd. We'll be telling you more about that. Just really cool. But thank you so much to Stevens for stepping up and being such a great supporter of what we're doing with the Touchdown Club. Oaklawn, Hot Springs, Louisella, Wayne Smith I know is here. Thank you, Wayne. I know that Zach Gillum and Chris Ho are both here as well. They are leading. Listen, they've got one of the premier tracks in America, Smarty Jones, American Pharoah. And, of course, the Kentucky Derby winner this year that we've got a time with, Mystic Dan. Scott Hamby is here, one of the owners. So, Coach, don't you know that there's going to be a reference to Mystic Dan at some point later? So glad to have a organization and a company like Oaklawn that's been around 119 years to be a part of us. We're honored that you guys are a part of us. Look forward, Zach, to making my bets this year and making my picks. Hopefully the Hogs will be good, and we're going to have good picks and big wins and have a lot of good times. But also, Coach, I think you got a phone call this week from Oaklawn. I think it was to the tone of $500,000 to the athletic department. How about that? So that's what Oaklawn's did. And Oaklawn has challenged every company in here today to also give $500,000 to the athletic department. Who's in? Who's in? Come on now. Right? Lock the door. Coach, you got a captured audience right here. I do want to thank Wright, Lindsay, and Jennings. Of course, Judy Henry, as I mentioned. She's my personal attorney. She's a longtime Little Rock Touchdown Club board member. She's one of the best litigators in America. She leads the sports law team at Wright, Lindsay, and Jennings, and that means they represent coaches, collectives, businesses, student-athletes across the country. They negotiate over 100 NIL partnerships. So if you want somebody if you've got a business that wants to do an NIL deal with a player, Judy's the one to go to. Very trustworthy, and she's one of the best in the country. Was a former athlete herself, a gymnast. And so thank you, Judy. Thank you to Wright, Lindsay, and Jennings for also your sponsorship of the Cliff Harris Award, too. Could not do it without you. So thank you. You mean the world to me. Crane Automotive, great to have Crane back. Largest dealer group in Arkansas, 20 dealerships, over 1,000 employees, tracking to sell 24,000 cars right now, which is unbelievable. I see Christian Crane, Chris Crane, Drew Dees, the whole gang here. You even brought along Todd Ross. Coach, you see Todd was there? I don't know how Todd got in there. I'm not sure how he got in there, but thank you to Crane Automotive. You guys have been with us for probably about 10 years, I guess, now. We really appreciate you. Sissy's Log Cabin, Bill and Sherry Jones, huge Razorback supporters. Jim Englehorn, last year coach. Jim surprised Laura Rutledge and Alyssa Lang with jewelry. I'm giving you the chance. Got any jewelry for Coach today? No? A belt? Maybe a belt. Okay. Get this one back. Locations in Pine Bluff, Little Rock, West Little Rock, Jonesboro, Memphis, and Conway. Thank you so much. Appreciate Sissy's Log Cabin. 54 years there. Doublebee's owner Steve Lytle and GM Ed Light, we appreciate them. Family-owned convenience store, 34 locations across the state. Gas it, grab it, and go. Thank you to Steve and Ed for believing in the Touchdown Club. We appreciate you. Another great Arkansas family, where I don't know where they at, the Hendricks family. Where are they at over here? There they are right there. David and Doug, Coach, Junior, Dexter, Landon. They've got the newest and most amazing sports complex, not only in Arkansas, but in the South. It's called the Summerwood Sports Complex. Isaiah Joe was just there the other day with the head coach of Oklahoma City was there. So those are the kind of cool things you're doing, practices, parties, you name it. Please check in with them. It's an unbelievable facility. Roller Funeral Homes. Coach, we've had Renata Jenkins-Byler as a member for a long, long time. Their family goes back 3 generations in the funeral home business, 150 years. Really proud to have her as an official sponsor. Thank you, Renata. Excited to have you involved. Advantage Service Company, Kevin Brooks, thank you. One Call does it all. Kevin, you're the best. We appreciate you. Wally Hall, Arkansas Democrat Gazette. You've been with us since day one, Wally. Appreciate you. You've seen this thing grow. You've helped us grow. Couldn't do it without you. And Amanda Copley. Every week, Coach, we bring in an all Arkansas Preps Player of the Week. The numbers are gaudy, how big and how impressive they are. So look forward to having them. The Hatcher Agency, Greg Hatcher, he's been amazing. Now he's even, taking over ice cream with scoops. He's done everything for the club. He's got the Hatcher Agency in Twin City Limo. He's the best. Couldn't do it without him. Simmons Bank Arena. Coach, this Thursday is Chris Stapleton. Almost sold out, just FYI here at Simmons Bank Arena. Or would you go with Monday, Chicago, with Earth, Wind, and Fire? Both. September 13th, Dwight Yoakam. We appreciate Simmons Bank Arena. Pulaski County Farm Bureau, Todd Dennis and Stephen Reichert, appreciate them. War Memorial Stadium, Rex. Next Thursday night. I know it's a Thursday night, but need to sell some tickets, need to get out there. I've said if you have somebody in your neighborhood, a kid who's never been to a Razorback game, take them. Buy a family that's never been and let them go experience a great night at War Memorial next Thursday night. Arkansas Urology, if not for them, we would not be broadcasting live on 103.7 The Buzz. Coach, September's National Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. Please, guys, get checked up. We'll talk more about that. As I mentioned, 103.7 The Buzz is also one of our main sponsors. Thanks to Terry Mahan and Justin Akery and DJ Williams, who are broadcasting live. Had Coach on here a minute ago. Thanks to The Buzz. And also, too, how about this? AY Media, AY Magazine, and Arkansas Money and Politics. Thank you, Heather Baker. This amazing 20th anniversary cover and feature story. Rex, you were great in it. Thanks for your passion, Heather, of the Touchdown Club and for that amazing magazine. Arkansas PBS, Courtney Pleasure, thanks so much. Rex, we're raising the bar. No other Touchdown Club in America has a partnership with their PBS group, and you've got an amazing staff. We're excited that you want to take what's happening here to all Arkansans. We appreciate them. The DoubleTree Hotel, best in the business. All this setup it takes 2 days to do this setup. Couldn't do it without them. And JF Media Marketing, Alicia Flynn and Jeremy Flynn, who are doing all of our social media. Coach, that's what it takes to be the best Touchdown Club in America. Let's give all those sponsors a big round of applause. Thank you, Dwayne Duncan, for taking photos. Chris Kane and RJ Hawk, you're the future of the club. Rex Nelson, nobody does a weekend recap like you. And we got to give a round of applause and all of our volunteers. Would you give them a big round of applause? All right, we're almost to Coach. I want to recognize a couple of special people in the audience. Please give a round of applause to our Lieutenant Governor, Lieutenant Governor Leslie Rutledge, a longtime member of the club. Thank you. Tim Griffin. Tim, let's give him a round of applause. Coach, Governor Sanders said she apologized she couldn't be here. She had a birth in the family that she had to be at, and she's been here every year she's been in office to see you, so I know she missed out on that. And as mentioned earlier, Tommy May, Lunch for Bridges, love you guys. Thanks so much. Betsy Brules Arnold and Molly Arnold, the daughter of Frank Brules and the granddaughter of Frank Brules, who will be taking the Brules Award to Oaklawn. In February. There's a new playoff now, Coach, so we can't do the Brules Award in December like we normally do. So we're taking it to an unbelievable facility like Oaklawn in February, and it's going to be the best we've ever had. So thanks to Wayne, and great to have Molly and Betsy here. And if you're a Razorback, If you're a Razorback former player, former coach, please stand now. Let's give them a round of applause. Are there any hogs in the house? Just to make sure. Any hogs in the house? Any hogs in the house? That's right. There we go. I know Alicia Curtis is here with the Razorback Foundation. Alicia, thank you for being here. I see you over there. Pat Doherty, Razorback Football Chief of Staff. Where's Pat? Did you know that there's a Chief of Staff for Razorback Football? How about that? Stand up, Pat. Come on, Pat. Look at Chief of Staff. That's what a Chief of Staff looks like right there. That guy ain't in the White House. He's not in the White House. He's with a football program. As somebody that I have so much respect for, I work with all the time. He's one of the best in the business. Long-time associate AD for communications, sports information. Give it up for Kyle Parkinson, everybody. Such a great guy. Thank you, Kyle. All right. It is time to get Coach up here. I've talked enough. Steve Sullivan always puts together a great intro for our speakers. We're going to do that. Coach is going to speak 10, 15 minutes. Going to let me maybe do a few Q&A on the backside. Sully, take it away.
December 8th, 2019, Sam Pittman is hired to coach the Razorbacks. He inherited a dumpster fire and also dealt with a pandemic in year one, but still managed to restore pride in the program. His Hogs were competitive in a brutal 10-game All-SEC schedule. Year two was magical. It featured big September wins over both 15th-ranked Texas and those 7th-ranked Aggies.
Ball from Jefferson, got him in stride. On the way is Burks. It's a touchdown.
The 9-4 season ended with an Outback Bowl win over Penn State, the Hogs finishing the season as a top 20 team for the first time since 2011. 2022 ended in Memphis, and a triple overtime win over Kansas secured back-to-back winning seasons. A year ago, the Hogs finished just 4-8. They went 1-5 in games decided by 7 points or less. Enter a new set of offensive coaches, including Bobby Petrino, and several new pieces. And this is important, the oldest grad assistant in America is helping with the offensive line, and hopes are high. One thing that has remained the same from day one is Sam Pittman's love for the Hogs in Arkansas. Please welcome Razorback head coach Sam Pittman.
Thank you. Shut it down. I forget every year, I don't know why, but Judy Henry had a lot to do with why I got the job, and she was looking pretty good for the first 3 years last year. Sorry, Judy. But, I don't know how your day's been going. Mine's been going pretty darn good. Y'all's? Well, I was reading the other day, I think Scott sent it to me, he said alarm clock or an opportunity clock. It made sense. I took it to the players. I talked to them about that. I appreciate that, Scott, sending that to me. But I want to talk to you about my day a little bit. We got up, we had a staff meeting, and I got on the plane, and I started. Do you guys ever scroll through pictures if you don't have Wi-Fi and you scroll through? Well, I had one of last year of me. And if you don't mind, and no disrespect, but I had the same damn tie on. And I am not going to go through another season like that. So it's going to start with taking this damn tie off. All right? Number two, I get on that fancy bus they meet us with, and my damn belt exploded. I didn't forget it, Frank. It just exploded. So, luckily, Baz has put on. And he came to my rescue. So thank you for gaining weight, my friend. You did a great job. Thank you again for being here. We do have 9 Little Rock, Pulaski County kids on our team. Anton Pierce, Preston Davis, Mason Schick, Alex Johnson, Marion Harris, who is going to play a lot of ball for us. Quincy Rhodes Jr., same thing, really coming into his own. Jabray Shaw over at Mills, Nico Davier, who's starting for us at defensive end, and Charlie Collins, who was a big get for us. I want to talk to you a little bit about NIL, and not in the, it's kind of been known as NIL, you know, but a little bit about NIL. And all I want to say about it is this, that, you know, as we're going around trying to raise money, and there's so many people in here that without you, we'd be dead. I mean, without Frank Fletcher, we'd be done. And Todd, and I mean, just so many. I got a list of them over here, and I'm going to miss somebody, so I'm not going to say everybody. Obviously, Warren Stevens and everybody, okay? But what it's done for me is the people that I've read stories about success, Dr. Mac Moore, and the successes, and I read the newspaper about what they've done in their life, and then to get to meet them personally and find out why they have had success. Well, once you're around them, each and every one of those guys, you understand why they did. And it's really cool. So NIL has been a blessing to me because of the people I've been able to meet. And I've always had that respect for those names, but then once you meet the person behind the name, it's really special. So I really want to thank those guys, and you know who you are, and I'm going to leave you out if I go over the list, but without you, we can't function. And so much appreciated there, okay? So I'm going to leave that. You know, I'm looking at myself in this deal right here. I don't look too bad. Last year was tough. So, you know, the one thing we're trying to tell our team is that no matter what you did yesterday, it won't have an effect on what you do today unless you use it as a positive or a learning experience, whichever way it is. So we're trying to flush everything, every practice. We've had 16 really good ones. And last year was hard because we lost so many close games, you know, 5, and played better on the road than we did at home. So there are some things that we have to get fixed, and I think we do. But I want to say this, and I'll say it as many times that we have right now. It's a good football team. I want you to be excited. I do. I mean, I want you to be excited about the football team. You got to get off this, negative that. That ain't never solved no problems, you know. Just listen, believe in the Hogs. You do. We've got a good football team. You're going to enjoy watching the Hogs play, and you're going to enjoy it. Hopefully you can get over there on Thursday night and watch us play here in the great city of Little Rock. That would be, if we could pack that would sure make a big difference. You know, Thursday night was something that we had to kind of figure out, to be perfectly honest with you, in that, you know, every year they come to me about time to play the game. And the hardest thing on a Saturday is that not everybody, a lot of people want to have the night game here in Little Rock on Saturday night. And honestly, I did not, and I didn't because we would get back at 2:30 in the morning on a home game, and I didn't want to do it. Well, 11 a.m.s probably can't get drunk enough, I don't think. I mean, I think you can try, but, well, hell, I've done it a couple times, but I mean, but that's hard. And getting the game, you know. And so then if you go at 3 o'clock, well, at halftime, it's time everybody's passing out in the stands. So we thought that Thursday night might be a good deal. It would be good for us because then we would have 2 extra days to continue to work on the next opponent. So I'm really excited to see how it goes, you know, and having a night game here in Little Rock, I think it's going to be really fun. And Thursday night, we'd love to see you all out there and supporting us. We've had 16 days of practice right now, And when we get back, today will be, obviously we are preparing our own team. We're not really headed towards Pine Bluff yet, but we're trying to get better as a football team. But we've had 16 really good practices. And a little, it's a physical game out there, and so we've got a few dinks and things, but nothing where a guy would miss any time right now. But I don't know how you get any better if you don't practice blocking and tackling, and a lot of football now is going to, I don't know what it is. It's like a flag type deal in practice, just so you can stay healthy to get to a game. But the games aren't any fun if you're not ready when you get there. So we've been very physical. Obviously, y'all know I hired Bobby Petrino or no? It wasn't a very popular move in the state, and I'm going, damn, I should have hired somebody they wanted, Bobby's been super since he's come, since he decided to come back to Arkansas. Very passionate about the state of Arkansas. Been great is what it's been. We were able to hire, we lost a lot of the offensive staff, and we were able to hire Ronnie Fouch as a wide receiver who coached with Bobby, and Colby Smith, who coached twice with Bobby at running backs, and he also played for the Chiefs. You remember that, guys, when he played for the Chiefs or no? I hope nobody says yes, and that way I'll tell him, hell, nobody remembers. Eric was here 3 years with me when I was here as an offensive line coach, and he's doing a super job with those guys. But the entire defensive staff is back, which we improved a lot last year defensively, and I think having them all back will help us there. And then Scott Fountain's back. I think he's the only coach on the staff that stayed with me the complete 5 years, him and Pat, but Pat's just coaching all the people in the building, not the players. The schedule, I think right now we're about 50,000. Is that right, Pat? Season tickets? Is that right? Where we're at 48 to 50,000 season tickets sold. You had 15 students in there. I think we're going to end up having full capacity, especially, we're going to have what kind of season I think we're going to have. Hell, you better, if you don't have your season ticket or you're, if you're not a student, you a student? No. Grad student. Get to buying them game tickets up because we're going to have a hell of a season. I love, did I tell you I love the football team this year? And I was going over what I was going to say, and as you can tell, I write some stuff down and then I never say what's on the piece of paper. Because a piece of paper, Frank, is better than what's coming out of my start rambling, And as I was talking, I said, well, and I had Andrew, and I was going, well, I was talking, I was going, well, we played 7 opponents in the top 25 and this, that, and other. And right when I got it, Andrew Armstrong said, hell, kind of mentality that our kids have. And so let's just briefly do this, and then Baz, let's go to work. Offensively, you're going to love Taylon Green. Big, tall, fast, got great leadership skills. Our running backs, we've got 5 of them, and they can play. They're good. You're going to like Jaquina Jack. You're going to like Rashad DeBinion. You're going to like Braylon Russell. Really has done a really good job. And then we got a couple of transfers more in there. Our tight ends, they're all back. Luke has is healthy. A tight end to our roster, Polska. And then our offensive line, we added 4 out of the portal. 3 of those 4 are starting us, and we needed edge help. So there are 2 tackles and a center. Those 3 we got. We hit on every one of them. You're going to enjoy watching those guys play. At wide receiver, we added in the portal, but we didn't lose anybody. We had basically our entire guys who played coming back. Okay. Defensively, I like our. There's a guy named Anton Junekaj that came from Albany, and he's a really, really good defensive end. I think you'll enjoy watching him. Landon Jackson, we're having a hard time blocking. Can ball. They're really good players. And then at linebacker, we've got 4. I think you're going to hear about Spence, Sorey, Stephen Dix, and then Switzer. I think we got a young freshman from Hoover, Alabama named Brad Shaw that I think you'll enjoy watching as well. And then in the secondary, got a lot of guys coming back with Braxton and Robinson and Singletary and Stewart at the corners, and then the safety. You got Hud. Hud's just been here. I think he's been here longer than I have, Hudson. Oh, I forgot to tell you, the wide receiver, he had a birthday, Monte Harrison, and he's now the 3rd oldest guy in the building. Me, Bobby, and then damn him. Damn 29. We asked him, could he return punts? He said, hey, have you seen me? And of baseball, you sure as hell could catch a football. I felt dumb. I'm going, oh, I didn't know that, One place I didn't play when I played baseball was center field. We lost Cam Little, and we have a battle going on there with Matt Shipley and Kyle Ramsey. It's going to go down to the wire there. They both really had good fall camps. And then Devin Bell's going to be our punter for us. Man, he's having a good camp too. And these are when you get up in front of wonderful fans like you are, you want to preach some positive things. You do. You want to pump up the people in the audience. But hell, I'm just telling you the truth. We got a good football team, a good group of guys that are leaders in the locker room. They work extremely hard, and I damn sure think they're going to make the state of Arkansas proud. On Sunday morning, you get up and go to church, or if you don't, well, you still can be happy about the Hogs. But I think you're going to feel really good about this football team because we certainly do, okay? So I'm going to have David ask me some questions, and then I'll give him his belt back, and then I'll take some pictures, and then I got to go home. Thank you, everybody.
Coach, let me get you a chair real quick. Bring him over.
Check. Coach, yeah, we don't want to make Coach stand up, and we're not going to keep him much longer because you've got some pictures to do, and you've got to get back to Fayetteville. But first thing, Coach, I want to ask you is that you and I have been around a long time. We're about the same age, and I've always, when Coach Holtz used to coach me and Coach Hatfield, they would always talk about the identity. Look to find an identity of your team. Whether it's the way you play, the way it leads, the way you rally, the attitude, the football IQ, the athletic, whatever it is. Do you feel an identity forming for either offense or defense or both?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of confidence. I think, David, a little bit on identity. You've got to wait and see them on a Saturday before you really know what you have. But my belief right now is we have a really, really strong team that they police each other. And that's hard to do now, guys. And this, I mean, we got 39 new players, you know, so used to you'd have 20, you know, freshmen or whatever. We have almost half the scholarships on the team are new. And us and everybody else. I mean, that's just how it is. But what I do like, if I say our identity is we are accountable and we're consistent. We're consistent at practice and we're accountable to each other. And I'm talking about kids now too, you know. It's in the, we have to be accountable to them, they have to be accountable. But I think, let's say this, for me getting up in front of the team and talking to them, I love it. Because I know that I've got kids that will, you know, run through the wall with us together, and you win a lot of games that way.
It seemed that leadership has been something that over the last couple of years that's been brought up, and not to be negative, but I was a team captain myself, and I know the value of having one thing for the coach to do it, but to have internal leadership from the team. You've already mentioned Taylor Green, but you feel overall this group, say this is your 5th year. Where does this group stand from just? You feel a little bit different about these guys being responsible for themselves?
Yeah, I mean, when you go through camp, like we're going through camp, and camp starts at 6:30 in the morning, you know, and you have 2 guys late in a 18-day period, and they're 2 to 3 minutes late, had this, and 2 guys on your whole team. That's an accountable team. And I think it's more important. It's not about impressing us, the players. It's about them impressing their teammate. You have a good team when your teammate's confident in you, your teammate trusts you, not just a coach, you know. And so that's where I think we're at right now, and that started a lot with the guys getting older and then the guys we brought in. You can bring them in from any school, okay? But the ones that are brought in from not quite the Arkansas, the SEC powerhouses, the ones from the Colorado States, from Boise State, they appreciate Arkansas a little bit more. And those guys, if they're, they got to be good on tape. I'm just not trying to bring a bunch of guys from Pittsburgh State in here. Yeah. But if they're good on tape and they come from maybe not an SEC program, they're so appreciative of what they have that it's powerful.
A lot of talk is really, being in talk radio like I am, Coach, I can't remember the dates when Coach Petrino was hired, when you hired him. Obviously started a line of discussion about what he was going to be able to do, and then you bring in Taylor Green. A lot of talk since. I mean, there's been so much talk, but what's crazy, Coach, nobody's really seen Taylor Green live. Seen some video of him at Boise, and I saw a poll the other day that some media group listed the top.
I've seen a few polls too about me too.
Yeah,
not
top
great.
14 quarterbacks in the league, and Taylor Green is like 13. And so I just have a funny feeling, Coach. What do you think is going to happen Thursday night at War Memorial Stadium when we see not just Taylor Green, who we saw what he did at Boise State, but the combination of Taylor Green with the changes you've made on offense and Bobby Petrino's offense?
Well, I like what I'm seeing in practice, and we are trying to run the right plays into the right looks. You're either playing a fast speed offense and just trying to beat them with speed and them not being lined up right and all that, or you're checking to check like I was involved with at Georgia and what we were here when I was here at Arkansas. That's Bobby's schematics. And the one thing about Bobby is he has automatic built-in, power's not the word, but respect because of his name and what he's done in the past, and especially in this state as well. But I mean, he's been a head coach at the Falcon, been everywhere, and successful. So he has an innate ability where when he talks, people will listen to him, kids will listen to him. So I think that's probably as powerful as anything that we have. And obviously he knows what he's doing. He's got good assistants around him on offense. But I expect that we're going to throw the ball deep. I expect that we're going to run the football. We're going to play action, and we're going to check check runs to pass and pass to run, and we're going to play hard as hell. That's what I think is going to happen.
So if you change, you go into the season with a different approach at all in terms of, you look back last year in your decision making about what you want to do when you have more confidence in a team? Do you go for it on fourth down? Do you does that change when you feel better about a team like you do this year, how you're going to approach things in crucial situations?
You know what's so crazy is that every time, here's what happens. Y'all put yourself in this seat, if you would, and you go, I'm going to do this. And you have to believe in whatever it is. And so we bought this analytics stuff, and so instead of me going, this is what I'm going to do, it was, hey, Morgan, what's it say I'm supposed to do? It's a damn book that doesn't go have to talk to the media nor lose a game. Book's already been paid for, too, by the way. So every dang time says, go for it, coach. Hey, how you feel? Oh, yeah, we're ready to go. First down the other direction, whatever it was. The first time I really did that, and just because somebody else has success doing that, I'm going to do the eye test and what my heart says. And that's what I did the first three years that I was here. So analytics are good and all that, but winning's a lot better, So we're going to try that.
On a fun note, Anita, if we can, if you were ever going to have a good luck charm, it seemed like it started this year with a trip to Churchill Downs.
Oh, yeah.
And if you can, let's show that first shot, Anita, of shot number 9, I think. You had a chance to go to the Kentucky Derby. There's Scott Hamby, who is the owner of Mystic
That's
Dan.
a sharp suit right
Wayne
there.
Smith, who is from Oaklawn. The next one, go ahead. There's
Go
after
Hogs.
the fact, Scott Hamby and Katie, his wife, winning obviously after the race. One more time. So I don't know what you're holding up the 3 fingers for. I'm not sure what that is, Coach.
That was Scott and them's horse was Mystic Dan. He was number 3.
That's what it is, and that's John.
He didn't finish third. He was number 1.
John Dale to the right, Scott Hamby. And the last one,
John Dale
the
looking
winner's
good.
circle. Now I see your wife Jamie on the right over there.
Yeah.
So was that I just got to ask, what was that whole experience like? To be at the top, of what is one of the great, sports in our country and in the world, horse racing, and to be in the winner's circle of the biggest race in the world.
With friends who you love, can't beat it. If I was just there with people that I didn't know or just acquaintances or something like that, it wouldn't have been. And the horse named after Scotty's dad and Banks's dad, and it was just incredible. Just a lot of fun, and I had Hunter Cross, which paid $3,700. There was a lot of good. I mean, did that come out? It has nothing to do with it. It was just a lot of fun.
One of the things you hear a lot about you, Coach, and Sully, I think Sully mentioned it in the open. There is no question about your love for the state of Arkansas. You grew up in Oklahoma. Yeah. You went to some of the Lou Holtz camps.
Yeah.
And you got a place over in Hot Springs, unbelievable place. And your love for the state's true. And I know that losing was not on the agenda, but that what you want for this state is something important to you.
Oh yeah. I mean, the state's been good to me. Hell, when we was in Georgia, we were going to retire in Hot Springs. We had a lot down in Hot Springs, Arkansas. I don't know. I just feel like I'm Arkansas, and so it's been, the thing is, guys, I know how bad you want to win. Hell, I do too. But I'll be honest with you. I want to win for the guys in our building, the guys on the team, the guys in this room, way more than I do for me. I just want to win. That's our job. That's what we're supposed to do.
Last thing, and then we'll wrap up. And I saw this on Twitter the other day. So it's funny. I remember with Coach Holtz, you know, we always, if you play for Coach Holtz, you could do a Lou Holtz imitation. You know, Sam Pittman, I'm the greatest linebacker to ever play at the University of Arkansas. But you would never do it in front of Coach Holtz.
Yeah.
So I happened to notice, I think Hawks Plus did a deal the other day. They asked the players what their favorite phrase that you had was. So if we can, Anita, let's take a look and see what the players said.
What is your favorite people saying? Yeah, go Hawks.
Thank you, everybody. Appreciate you. Go Hogs.
He says fair a lot, and I think that's funny.
Fair.
He like says something, he's like, is that fair? And like, even if it's not fair, what are we gonna say?
That's fair?
You got to go back to the OG.
BAM!
What we're doing is we're doing it for a reason, baby. You got that, baby? All right, give me some. All right.
God dang it, Scott! Turn that damn jukebox on, man.
Yeah, turn that damn jukebox on.
Turn that damn jukebox on. Turn that damn juice box on.
He said juice box.
Turn that jukebox on.
Turn that! Yes, sir! Yes, sir! Embrace the Hawk!
All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's stand up and do a hog call for Sam Pittman, everybody. Here we go. Hey, Suey. Hey, Suey. Hey, Suey. Razorback. Sam Pittman, everybody. Let's give it up for Sam. Great job, Coach. All right, if you want to get your pictures made, 50-yard line members first, sponsors first. We'll do these as long as Coach can be here. Brett Favre next week. Great day. Thank you.